Sorry, stop
Yeah.
that.
Okay. So has everyone got all their stuff ready to go? So I'm only going to use one pencil today. These pencils are getting a bit short. Look how small they are. Hard to hold. But you can get a little extended. You can roll up a piece of paper, actually. I'll show you that really quickly. You get a piece of paper, rip it off. If your pencil's really short, like this one's actually a little bit too small for me to use. See how small that is? I need it to lean up on here. What you can do is you roll it very tightly around your pencil. So I've got it like that around my pencil. I'm going to roll it very tightly. I don't want it to cover here, so I might fold that over. Roll it tight, 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 tight. A bit too much paper there. I'll just rip some off. There we go. So it's tighter on there. You can put a bit of sticky tape on there. And then you don't want it quite that long. Enough. And then I've got a pencil that's long enough to use. So maybe I'll use that one now, even though it's got a bit of paper sticking out. Okay, so today is our last lesson for the term, I believe, because it's school holidays at the end of the week. So there's a school holiday program, so don't forget, if you want to join up for that, you have to sign up to have access to it. But today, I thought we'd just draw just some simple things like we normally do. We'll do some shapes, and we'll turn them into things. Why don't we just draw some, instead of drawing characters, why don't we draw some plants or mushrooms kind of thing? So let's just draw a couple of like oval shapes or pear shapes, like that. Just sort of thicker on the bottom, thinner at the top. See? Okay. That's just two little shapes. And then from that, they're like the tops of our mushrooms. See, you could put some little spots on them. Just drawing other little circles. And you can add a little stem on the bottom. Cute little mushroom like that. And then for the other one, you could make it a long mushroom. So draw a long stem on it. And this one could have, just like some curvy shapes on it. Wavy shapes, wavy lines. And mushrooms come in all different shapes and sizes, so you can you could do actually one day is get on the holidays when you're bored, you can have some paints. You could draw some paint swatches. I don't have any paints near me at the moment, but I do have. Okay, I've got some markers. Picked up two of the same color markers, so you could just even with paint or markers, just do the same sort of thing. Draw some blobby shapes. Don't have to be anything in particular. Really quickly. We can do it with pencil, lead pencil. Now my pencil has come off. And then once you've got these, you could get, let me see what I got. Oh, I've only got a big, thick Sharpie. You could turn these into mushrooms as well. Putting little stems on them, and this is the underside of the mushroom, so it's a bit stripy. Some spots like that. Or maybe this is a big capped one. I'm seeing the underside like that. This could even be like a little hat on a little fairy or something. And the fairy face there. And she's got little curly hair. And then yeah, maybe this is just another little one. Sometimes you get mushrooms that are very thin, so you could actually draw a bunch of these. Like I think they're shiitake mushrooms, are they? No, I'm not quite sure actually. But they could all be growing up from the same spot. Yeah, like a little bunch of mushrooms. So while we're sort of on that topic, let me draw. Actually, I'll let you guys finish for a bit. I can see you're all sort of drawing a bit. So you could even just draw with pencil. We could even just color in with some colored pencil and then trace them with a felt tip, or use a colored pencil and a lead pencil to add some detail. Actually, we might do something like this in the school holiday program. One of them is on Friday, the 1st of October. We're doing elves and fairies, so I might do little things like that. On the other Friday, the 24th, which is next Friday, I believe. Let me just check the calendar. Should be next Friday. Not this Friday, next Friday. So not this week, next week is the first school holiday Friday, and we're doing mermaids and monsters. So yeah, if you're interested in that, try and book in for those. So I'm just going to move my page over this way. So let's draw another circle, and inside that, a smaller circle. And we're going to do a flower. So the circle on the inside is the middle of the flower. There might be some little dots or seeds or something in there. And then on the outside is where the petals are going to be. So we can divide this up and come around. So there's one petal. And then you can go around just adding them in. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. Might start at the bottom now. 5. Oh, I'm going to have a big one there. 6. Try and make them even, but they're not quite. Just shade it in a little bit. You see how that flower has a lot of detail in the petals. There's 6 different petals there, but I only drew one circle as my guide because that's to make it as simple as possible. So a flower is a circle, and then you put detail inside. And then if I wanted to draw the stem, I could just sort of draw a line. But then I can come back and thicken it up, double lines, maybe draw a little leaf on the side with some veins in it. Nice and simple. So we can draw another shape. Why don't we draw more of a teardrop shape? Okay. It looks like a petal, even a single petal or a seed or almost an egg. What I'm going to do here is I'm cut off the top like that. So I don't want that bit, so I'm just going to rub it off. Now I'm going to find the middle. I'm going to come down like this, either side, drawing another smaller teardrop on the inside. And then from that top bit, we'll put the line across. I'll come down a little bit on that side and on that side. So I've got 3 little points at the top. I'll rub out that line at the top there. That's cool, Sophie. You had a green marker as well, or a green texture. Good job. So what I'm drawing here is this is like a tulip. So I've got those 3 points, but in between them, I might draw 2 more. Just shade them in a little bit. So there's actually 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 points. And again, I can bring the stem down. I could add in some little leaf sections at the top. Like that, where the flower, the bud is opened up and the flowers come out. Oh, like one of them just fell. Luckily, I wasn't using that camera. Give me a second. Sorry, guys. Okay, so we've got flowers, we've got mushrooms. The next thing we could do is we could try another kind of flower that sort of similar to this one, but why don't we draw a big circle like a sunflower and then a smaller circle, or sorry, it's a larger circle but not a big gap, so the center circle is pretty big like that. And then what we're going to do is we're going to do petals all the way around this one, but small petals. Do that in just a second. I'm having a little bit of a crisis here that my marker is about to fall off its stand and crush me. It's not working. Okay. Give me 1 second, guys. Oh. All right, so if you could probably go ahead and do that on your own to draw those little petals in. I'm thinking like a sunflower. So if you know what a sunflower looks like, you could get that on Okay, I'm about to lose. So, goodness. Ah, sorry about that. So what I was talking about was I literally had a monitor falling on me and I had to try and hold it up. So that wasn't fun. Small leaves or small petals, I should say, like this, all the way around. And you could go and do more in between that, like behind them. Make it very full. And then lots of dots on the inside. Because sunflowers have sunflower seeds. That's where the sunflower seeds are. You can fill it in like that. I've also lost the screen, so I don't know. I can't see that on the screen. Okay. And then sunflowers have very thick stems as well. Okay, now I can see that there's some questions. Sorry, I'm just moving to another monitor, the one that hasn't fallen on my head. Who have we got here? Mahmuda, have you got a question?
So I drew something before this art class.
Yeah.
It's something else.
Yep. If you want to hold something up, you have to turn off your background so we can see it. So I'm just drawing sort of wonky leaves on this one. So a little bit's coming down. Like that. Mahmuda, did you want to show something? No? Okay.
I'm gonna stop.
All right, so we're going to move on then. Okay, so let's see, we've done some mushrooms, we've done some flowers. What about if we're just doing a simple tree? Now this is going to be pretty small, so I've got much room on my page. So you could just do a circle. Or if you want to do a little bit more advanced, you could do a lumpy circle, a bit more like a cloud, because trees aren't completely round. And then if this is the ground here, I want it to sort of come in, be wide at the top, thin in the middle, and wide at the bottom. So then I'm going to do wide at the bottom, thin in the middle, wide at the top. So we're going to have roots down here, down the bottom, and branches at the top. So what I can do is I'll try and zoom in a little bit. So I can draw in some branches in here. How are they splitting? Maybe split it into 3. You could even do like another little branch coming out over to this little bush. And then you can just go lots of little curves so it looks like leaves. All the way around the outside. You don't have to do those inside curves, but you could add a few little bits here and there, or just some singular leaves. And maybe rub out the top bits. Like that. Kind of little tree. I think it's a bit too wide here. I might make the tree a little straighter and then pick it out. I could even go give it big roots coming out like that if I wanted to. So they're growing out or even coming up like tentacles to trip people over or grab people. If they're evil trees, that is. Now, what about a Christmas tree? So I've still got some space over here. So Christmas tree is basically just a triangle and the trunk. Nice and easy like that. But then, if you want to add a bit more detail, you could divide it up. 1, 2, maybe 3. So we've got different sections. And then, and it's kind of right. Got to hold it with one hand. And then you can actually, starting at the very top, draw down and then come out a bit. And then make it sort of jaggedy on the bottom. I don't know if you can see that. And then on the other side, stick it out past the side, jaggedy on the bottom. And then do that on the next layer. Keep doing that all the way down. You could just keep it simple and just do triangle. Oh, can you see that? Yeah. Triangle, and then another triangle, and then another triangle, and another triangle. It's a bit wonky, but you can draw it roughly first. So then, yeah, if you wanted to turn into a Christmas tree, you can just draw some baubles on there, candy canes. some tinsel. Star on the top. Mahuda, you got a question?
I will not draw ornaments on my Christmas tree because I don't like Christmas.
That's fine. You don't have to. I was just showing you what you could do. You can just draw the tree. Just showing you how to draw a pine tree. Anissa, let's see. Got a question?
When we do our next art class, can we draw animals?
Yeah, we could draw some animals now.
Okay.
What kind of animal do you want to draw?
Any
animal.
pets.
Kind of pets. Okay. We always draw cats. I always draw cats. But I just want to show you guys some plants. So I don't often draw plants. We usually draw people and animals. So let's finish up there with the plants. How'd you all go? Do you want to show me how you've drawn your plants? Audrey has a plant growing out of her head, I can see. If you have a background on, you have to usually turn it off so I can see. And that's good. Yeah, everyone's doing a good job. Nice. It's a nice tree, Harry. Yeah. Yeah, they're great. Good job, everyone. Okay, so let's move on. So let's do something different. Oh, look, see, my marker went through to another page. So I'm just going to, oh, it's on the back as well. I'll just use that one. My hand covers that bit there. Okay, so colors are looking good. Let's see what we're going to do. Some animals. Well, we don't often draw birds. Why don't we draw a bird? So, if we're going to do pets, why don't we do a parrot? So, I'm going to start with, as usual, a circle for the head. And then, so it's going to be the head and the eye. They've got pretty big eyes. The beak, I'm just going to do as a curve on the side for now. Trouble with my lighting. Okay, and then so for the body, I'm going to do an oval. Oh, no, I'm not actually. I'm going to do a circle for the chest. And then an oval starting about here. And this is going to be the wing. It's a long oval shape. So the body, it's not going to be very visible, but it's sort of going to be down here, under there. I'm not going to draw it all the way up there, but it sort of goes up that way. And the feet will be sticking down here. And then we need a tail. So tail's going to be coming from the body out like that, behind the wing. So I'm going to rub out some of these lines. The line inside the wing and the line inside the head. Let's clean it up a little bit. That's good, Sophie. And then I'm going to go back to the head. I'm going to start there. So I'm going to zoom in a little bit. So I'm going to clean up this eye. So I'm going to go over it a bit darker, smooth it out, find out where the pupil's going to be. So it's sort of a circle inside. Maybe I want some big highlights. So I'm going to draw a big highlight, a small highlight, color that in. And that line in there I don't want. Where's my small eraser? There it is. So it's going to erase that bit in there. So now it looks like it's got shiny eyes. Let's darken that a little bit so it looks darker on your screen. Okay. All right, so let's move on to the beak. I'm going to curve it around. And they usually have a little point at the front of their beaks. And then that comes back for the mouth. And then you can draw in the bottom of the beak. And then join those up. And I might do it with a fluffy line like feathers. And erase that construction line there. So that sort of feathery line I did down the mouth, I'm going to do that around the back of the head as well. So you could leave the head like that, or you could give it a crest on the top like a cockatoo. Or it could even just have long feathers sticking out the back. Oh, yeah. So I'll put a couple of them in. So you could do one like this with feathers sticking out. So it looks like a cockatoo. Or rub that out. You could leave it just like that. Or you could do a couple of long feathers stick out from the top. Like that. Looks like rabbit ears. Yeah, or you could give it say a comb like a rooster, but it's a rooster, a chicken, not a parrot. Okay, so down the chest, I'm going to do a few more of those sort of feathery, fluffy curls. And then go back and erase some of those construction lines. And then I might go to the wing. I'm just going to rub out the line at the back here. Back of that wing. So I'm going to start about there. I want to have a gap up in here. And I'm going to trace that down the front. And then I'll come down again and then again. So now I'm putting in separate feathers, but they're all touching. And some coming up and then back up the back side of it. So see how I left sort of a curve at the top of these feathers just here? That's where I'm going to put another one of those fluffy feather lines. Because on birds' wings, they have layers of feathers. Anissa, it's really hard to see because of your background. Oh, there you go. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, it looks like it's got a crown on its head. Okay, so I'm going to look at its foot now, the claw. Now we have done bird skeletons before. So the leg sort of looks like it bends backwards, but I'll just go over that again. So here we have the head, and the necks are longer than they think. So usually they're squashed down. So the neck's sort of in there. Sorry, I didn't realize this went out. Rib cage with a big breastbone. The backbone comes down in the pelvis. Now it looks like birds' legs go backwards, but actually they've got a short thigh and then a calf muscle. So that's the knee, the calf bone to the ankle, and then their foot and their toes. But because they're so feathery, we only sort of see this bit. So it looks like the leg bends backwards, but actually they don't. They're just sort of squatting. Google bird skeleton and you'll see some great reference. All right, so we'll go back here. So I'm just going to bring the leg down. Put some sort of scales on there or just lines like that. And then I was going to draw it sitting on a branch, but I think I'll just draw toes. So the toes sort of long and then they have a claw on the end. Let's see that. Got to look around my camera to draw another one. So they should have 3 at the front, I believe. Oh, going from memory. Claw, lines. Maybe you can't really see them, or we might just see a little bit of it poking out. And one at the back. And then for the other leg, I'm just going to sort of pretend to draw it. I'm going to draw the shapes. So just sort of the outline, just 2 claws, and then I'm just going to shade it in. And it looks like it's in shadow and it's hidden behind. So you'd have to put as much detail in. And then I'll just bring those feathers down at the front. Then all I've got left to do is the tail. Okay, so with the tail, just going to add another little construction bit because I've got a fluffy bit just near their bottom, sort of there. So this bit can be sort of fluffy. And then they've got long feathers that make up the tail. That's pretty much a parrot. And then you could color it any way you want. You could even break off sections. So maybe like the head is a different color. So you make that a different section by putting in more feathers. The chest could be a different color. The wings could have multiple colors. So this might be one big color. And then those another color, or you could put another little row in. So you have 1, 2, 3 different sections of color. If you draw a feather, let's just draw a quick feather. Come out at an angle like an arrow. Join that all the way up. All the way up, and it can go to a point or it can go around. Usually feathers, they've got these tiny little smaller feathers. They actually look like other feathers. But feathers are actually specialized scales. Can come back, there we go. Because birds evolved from reptiles. So when you're drawing feathers like that, you could cut little sections out because the feather doesn't always sit smoothly. So you could have little bits like that that are open. And then down here, some sort of feathery bits, just sort of light, wispy bits at the bottom there. You might have the tip of it might be a darker color. And then it might have a mid-tone and then be light at the base. Oh, sorry. Anissa, you have a question?
I have one thing to say is about, so when we were drawing the Paris, it also reminded me about my budgies. I used to had 2 budgies. They were very cute.
And did you ever draw them?
No, I used to draw like something like this. Usually I draw birds, something like this one.
I'm trying to see what a budgie looks like.
I usually draw like these.
Yeah, it looks like a little duck.
Yeah.
I'm gonna draw just a quick little budgie here, see if people can keep up. But they've got like small eyes, I think, just from memory. I'm not looking at any reference. And a little beak, and they've got their nose at the top there. Little beak.
I had 2 different kind of budgies. So one of them was like a zebra, kind of scalish, and then the other one is like a blue purplish one with the whitish blending.
That sounds nice. So there you go.
Yeah.
I don't know if you saw what I did there, everyone. I did that very quickly, but I'll go over it again just to show you. I'll do it in another color. Where's my pen? So that's a cute little budgie, and you could add in some, like, I think they have like white around here or underneath or around the eyes. I'm not quite sure. But what I did first for that one, if you want to do a step by step, is I drew this circle. I'll zoom in a little bit. So I drew that pink circle to find the head shape. And then I divided it up. So down the middle. And then horizontally, bit of a curve in that one. And that's when I found out where I wanted to put the eyes. I figured it out. One's, because the head was a bit turned, I made this one a bit bigger and this one a bit smaller. But you could do them the same. I'll draw another one. You do them the same size, front on. And then I found the shape of the beak. So the circle in the middle there. And then I added the nose section at the top. And then, well, even though I did have the body coming down, can't see this one. So I had the body coming down like that. But then I decided to put the cheeks in because I remember I had like a bit more rounded face. So I just put the curves in. So if you're going to draw the whole head, you could actually join it up like that. So if you draw it front on, sort of like that. Like a little chubby baby face bird. And then the body for them is pretty much the same as the parrot we just drew. So if you're going to draw it side on, probably a little thicker. That's where the claws might come down. And the wing. So we've got that baby head on top. And then the tail hanging down if that's on a branch or something. So it's just simple shapes. Couple of a circle with a little added bit on the bottom for the cheeks. It's almost a D shape or a P. So it's straight at the back and curve it around. It's like the letter P. And then put the wing in, add the tail, head on top, toes. It's an easy way to draw it. I'll try and do another one over here. So start off with a P for parrot. An O. This is sort of like a D. Pod. P-O-D. The tail is like a V. And then the I is another O. Draw a kitten. I just saw that. Yeah, we've got enough time to draw a kitten. The beak could be a V as well, or another V. Podvov. And then the legs could be W's, or toes, or M's. M. Really. P-O-D-V-M. What can I make from that? There's not enough vowels to write a bird. Anyway. All right, so that is birds. We did birds and plants. That's pretty good. And we've got about 12 minutes left. So let's draw a kitten. I seem to always draw cats when I have a choice to draw anything. Okay, so a kitten. Let's see. We'll start with a circle. Well, a bit more of an oval. And then I'm going to divide it up down the middle. I don't want to give it a bigger head like a baby, so I'm going to do the eyes low, like that. Now I started on the eye line, but I'm coming up. I want to have big eyes, but I also want to have slanted eyes like a cat. So again, I'll start at the bottom and curve it up. And then start at the top and curve it down. I might give it big round pupils. I'm not going to color those in yet because I'm probably going to put highlights in. Like I might do one here and here, here and here. Okay. In between the eyes on that middle line, I'm going to draw an upside down triangle. Well, a triangle with the point at the bottom. A little nose. I might do the ears next. Probably starting down here on that eye line. Some big ears. Trying to get them roughly the same shape, same size. Let me see. Yeah, that's right. You can do a little curved mouth at one side and then out the other side. And then, like the budgie, we'll give it some cheeks coming in. Like that from the eye line, curve around to the middle. Can come in a little bit as well. Now you can make those fluffy, furry. Give it a little sort of cute, fluffy cheeks. What about some of these lines in here? Okay. could then color in the eyes too. Now for the ears, I need to draw the inside of the ears. I'm just going to draw it up like that. And then maybe the inside has some fur in them. Clean up. Might give it some markings on its face. You could do stripes. I feel like doing some patches around its eyes. So I'm starting at the nose and I'm curving up over the eye and around the bottom. And then just around the mouth. It's not quite looking like a cat now. It looks more like a little possum or some other kind of creature. Yours might look more like a cat. Some whiskers. 1, 2, 3. I'm just turning the page so I can get a good flick. 1, 2, 3. And then for the body, I want to give it a small body. Come down to there. So I'm going to draw in a little circle for the chest. Or half circle. And the legs or the front arms, front legs, arms are going to come down from that. You make them pretty thick because everything's small and chubby and cute. Add little feet and toes. And then on that chest, you can make it a bit furrier and fluffier. Then I'm going to draw it sitting down. So back legs are going to be curved over with a little foot. Little foot curves over. Oh, that one's a bit small. I'm going to get them the same size. Maybe just bring that up a little bit to join the body. That's pretty good, Anissa. Cute little kitty. And lastly, a little tail. We'll just do a tail sticking out up the side like that. We can make it bushy as well. We could do a long, thin tail. Could have a little lighter bit on the end. Could have a little collar for the bell. You could have a little tooth if you wanted to look like that, or you could give it a little furry chin, or you could just draw its mouth open so it's smiling. Thanks, Seth. I got a clock in front of me too. There we go, it's sort of smiling now. Draw the tongue and color in the mouth. Can actually do some whiskers coming from the eyebrows. because dogs and cats have those too. We could even add some fur on the end of the ears, little tufts. Oh, let's see what people draw. Seth, that's awesome. That's great. Sophie, that's really cool. Audrey, that's great too. Nice work. Okay, so we've only got a couple of minutes left. Well, Emma, that's a nice full page. Well done. So you could color in your cat. I'm just going to shade a little bit, and then I'll tell you about the school holiday classes. Thumbs up if you're booked in already for the school holiday classes. Am I going to see anyone? No, no one's booked in yet. Oh, Jaden is. Okay, so there are 1, 2, 3, 5 different classes starting for me anyway. I'm not sure about the other teachers, but I'm doing classes on Tuesday and Friday and Saturday of the first week, and then Tuesday and Friday of the second week of the holidays. And the Tuesday classes I'm doing comic classes, so learning how to make comics. They're a bit more for older kids, but you're welcome to come along to those as well. The Friday classes are more for you guys. In those classes, as I said before, the first class on the Friday, 24th, is Mermaids and Monsters. And then on the other class, on Friday, the 1st of October, we're doing Elves and Fairies. And then on the Saturday, it's in the middle of the holidays, I'm doing one called Themed Clothing. Now in that one, I'm going to be doing things like, I'm going to show you some tips on how to draw clothing and folds and things like that. That might be good for you, Audrey. But I'm also going to give you some topics. For example, if I said, draw a character, but give them some clothing that was based around plants, you could then draw something like this and draw some mushroom hats, or a flower dress and things like that. So that's sort of what the themed clothing on Saturday 25th is going to be like. But then the other Tuesdays are simple comics and dynamic panels and things like that. So yeah, so if you want to join me for those ones, book in, get your parents to book in. And otherwise, if you're not going to do the school holiday classes, hopefully I'll see you again next term for term 4 for our regular drawing classes on Tuesdays at 5 p.m.
Okay,
Are you
thank
there,
you.
Peter? Are you out there?
Yeah, thank
Good.
you, everyone. Yeah, thank you, Evan, for the wonderful class. Everyone, everyone turn off the camera? I can't even see what you're doing anymore. Come on, everyone, show us your work. I want to see your work.
What's your favorite thing you drew today?
Turn off the
Was
background camera. I want to see it.
the birds or the flowers or the
bird.
cat?
There's a bird, there's a cat. Wow, Joyce, really nice.
Birds and things.
Really nice work.
I like these mushrooms.
Buddha. Which mushroom? Your mushroom. Oh,
I like this mushroom.
okay.
That's my favorite.
Got a set. You're drawing something like a spiky mushroom planet, whatever.
That's a
It
mushroom. That's great. Yeah.
Who else? You, Jonah. Wow, beautiful, Jonah. Jonah, you did very well.
Very nice too. Yeah.
Wow, it's good. Everyone, if you turn your view into called gallery view, you can see everyone else's work. Savati, yeah, it's nice.
Really good.
Really good. All right, Audrey, very good. Very
Audrey's
nice
almost
cat.
identical to mine. That's crazy. Well done, Audrey.
Yeah, Audrey, very good. Is it the Audrey the artisan thing? Are you?
Sorry, was that what?
Are you the one on Instagram, Audrey? maybe.
Yeah, that's
Oh, that's yours.
Audrey.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's decent. Okay. Thank you, everyone. I'm gonna unmute everyone to say goodbye to Mr. Evan.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.